morning, everyone. My name is Jacob Hook. I'm a member here at UUFF. Unitarian Universalism is a religious tradition that values freedom in religious thought and journey. We uphold the unity of our interconnections, connections to each other, to all of life, and to the precious universe which you are all a part of. We affirm the universality of love and hope as we journey together in community, and we welcome you, whoever you are at this moment, and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. For those who are joining us online, welcome. If you are new, please check out our website at uufayetteville.org for more information. For those who are visiting us for the first time in person, you will find a visitor information card in the back seat in front of you. We'd love for you to fill this one out so if we can get you on the email list and keep you informed about all of our events. Later in our service, we have a time where you are invited to come forward and drop a stone symbolizing our joys and concerns into our bowl of water. If you have a joy or concern you'd like to share, we invite you to fill out one of our yellow cards. You will find this in the back seat in front of you. There's a place for you to indicate if you want your joy or concern to be shared out loud or if you want it to be confidential and shared with only leadership. If you fill out a yellow card, you can bring that forward at the time. If you are online, you may write your joys and concerns in the comments there at that time. Please note that these comments will be public. If you have a need for hearing assistance, our AV Tech David can help you with that. Children are always welcome in our service, but there is a staff nursery available downstairs if you prefer. Please remember to silence your phones as we enter into our service. Thank you.
Good morning. Please join me in lighting our chalice. The words are on the screen and in your order of service. Love
is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and truth, and to help one another, thus to be covenant together.
Good morning. Good morning. For my opening words today, I'd like to share a poem about forgiveness called The Wait and the Whisper by Mike Sinoson. I waited for words that never came, and I'm sorry hung in silent air. The wound still fresh, the ache still loud, while they moved on unaware. I held the grudge like armor worn, thinking pain gave power back. But it only grew more heavy still and kept me tethered to the lack. Closure seemed like a locked old door, and I without a key. Just echoes of what should have been, and all they didn't see. But healing whispered something soft. Forgive, not to excuse, but to free your heart from chains of hurt and choose what you won't lose. So I laid the weight beside the road and let the ache unbind, not for them, but for the peace that I deserve to find.
Good morning, everyone. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able for our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. And we are going to, okay, I talk as slow as we need to. We're going to sing this 3 times through. It says it's by Lynn Ungar, but just know that the words are by Rumi. Okay, at Lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Beautiful, thank you. You may be seated.
As a community of people that care about each other, we share our various joys and concerns. We invite you to share your ups and downs as you desire. You can come to the front and drop a stone for any joy or concern, shared or confidential, expressed or held in your heart. As you drop your stone, may you experience the spreading of love and support. If you filled out a card, you can bring it to me. On the card, please indicate whether your comment is confidential or to be shared. If you need to stay where you are, feel free to raise the card so someone can get it and bring it up here for you. If you're attending virtually, you may write your joys and concerns in the comments at this time. Please note, those are not confidential. You guys may come forward now. Try not to knock over the candles as I come back up here. We don't want a fire, right? All right. Jacob, if you don't mind to drop some stones for our friends on Facebook. And those are our joys and concerns. If we could drop some stones for the joys and concerns that were not shared today for whatever reason. And if we could drop some more stones for all the joys and concerns that we will experience in the coming weeks. And let's have a moment of silence as we hold all of these joys and concerns in our hearts. All right.
The last time that I was up here, I tried to do this from my phone, and my eyeballs are not going to do that anymore. So just bear with me for a second. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Leanda. I have been around UUFF for about 13 years. I'm a member for like 10 of those years. I've served on the board for a lot of that. I've previously taught youth religious exploration. I'm currently a member of the Chalice team, which is our committee for planning these Sunday services. So I tell a version of this story every time I do one of these gratitude moments. So if you've heard this story like 3 times already and you're sick of it, I'm very sorry. But I'm just going to hit the general high points in case you haven't heard it, because that particular story holds the largest piece of what has carried me here to stand in front of you today. And I mean that figuratively and very literally, because if you had known me since birth, there is nothing about my natural personality that would lead me to voluntarily, on the regular, stand up here and talk to a group of people. If I had lived another life, that would be a hard no all the time. But I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness kid in the Delta borderlands of southeast Arkansas. Still Arkansas, but if you've ever visited, it's a very different world than our northwest part of the state. Culturally, it's the Deep South. And I explain the difference in vibes to people who don't know the difference like this. So when I'm here and I go to the doctor, I go in. It's like a non-event. I go in, I talk to like 1 or 2 people specifically about the reason that I'm there, and then in less than an hour, I'm gone. So my biological father, he passed away a little over a year ago, but when I used to go take him to his doctor's visits back home, down south, it's less than half of a day, and the word for that would be, it's an event. So by the end of that time, you are deeply acquainted with everyone in the waiting room. You have spoken to everyone on the elevator. You have seen pictures of their families, the staff's families. You have showed them pictures of your family. You know where everyone goes to church. You know what their neighbors have been up to when they are not at church. And you have nearly always found a common relative with at least a few of them within 2 to 6 generations. So all of that, coupled with the fact that little Jehovah's Witness kids are conditioned from birth to talk to anyone, and I mean anyone, family, friends, complete and total strangers, very dangerous, by the way, in conventional settings, appropriate or weirdly inappropriate, like funerals or the midpoint in line at the grocery store where you can't get away, or your own front door, which we have invited ourselves to. Most of these conversations are about intimate and very existential parts of your life that would have been, in most contexts, entirely none of our business. but we're super comfortable doing that. So, as you can imagine, while there are parts of my upbringing that I decided I would never recreate for my own children, there are pieces of it that I'm grateful for, like this one. I can be much more chatty than I probably would have ever been if I had been raised in a more mainstream, it's cool to be yourself kind of way. A more insidious side of my religious upbringing is that if you leave everyone and everything that you have ever known behind. There's no agree to disagree or finding your own path in that world. So when I chose a different life in my early 20s, I lost contact with many of the people that I had known for my whole life. I spent a lot of my years after that telling myself that I didn't need that kind of community, and I didn't, not that kind. But eventually, I find myself here, the way that most of us do, searching for something, seeking connection among people that share the same values and the freedom to live those values without being underneath someone else's interpretation of them. So the first year or so I was here, I wasn't involved in anything. I made the most minimal amount of effort to engage with anyone else. I probably made several of our interactions super weird, so I apologize for that right now. My previous experience with organized religion had left me with a mistrust of anything else remotely packaged that way, and most especially a mistrust of the motives of others regarding religion. I spent that whole first year diligently looking around for fault, for an excuse that Unitarian Universalism was no different than anything else out there that I had come across. And of course, when you're looking hard for something, you will eventually find it. We're all just people. Relationships are messy, and they are hard work, and on a much wider scale, so is community. Over the different volunteer roles I've had at UUFF over the years, I have felt all of the feelings, as I'm sure many of us have. There's love and joy and hurt feelings, magic and frustration and wonder, complete and total awe that a group of people with such diverse belief systems have built this place. We're not perfect, but there is such beauty in the way that we bridge our imperfections and our different ways of looking at the world. One of the things that I was most grateful to discover here that are early on is that there is an immense value in seeing through the hard stuff, to work with others who want the same things that you do, a path of your own, a kinder world, a community that is safe for everyone to live as they are. Coming from a religion that valued conformity and agreeableness over all else, and where most of your relationships with others are preordained simply by their proximity, this was a life lesson that I'd skipped. I'm so very grateful to be a part of this community, that it even exists 8 minutes away from my house where I grew up. The closest UU church was an hour and a half away. I'm grateful for the opportunity to respectfully disagree with someone, and no one else's entire life falls apart as a result. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to grow and experience 1,000 personal evolutions right beside people who do the same. I'm grateful for the friends that I've made here and to work beside quietly amazing people doing good things in small and large ways all the time. The important work of this fellowship is possible because of your generous contributions of time, energy, and money. Every contribution of every size is helpful and appreciated, and we're going to pass the offering baskets now. And I would just like to say, in honor of the end of our stewardship drive, is that today? Next week? Almost the end, excuse me. If you are looking to get something more out of your experience here, I would urge you to speak with, there's people outside that have tables every week. Next week, I guess there will also be one about different ways you can get involved here. And I would strongly encourage you to check those out. Thank you.
Dear ones, the piece that I'm about to sing has the word soul in it, and I trust that you will make that word into whatever you need it to be, higher consciousness or a literal meaning of soul, whatever feels right to you.
That was beautiful. Being raised as Southern Baptist in the Bible Belt meant that one of the most talked about concepts in my life has been forgiveness. Everyone was always talking about the importance of forgiveness, that I was forgiven, and that in order to be more Christ-like, I had to forgive the way Jesus did. I was explicitly taught that in order to fulfill my role here on earth, that I had to follow the example set by God in Christ. I had to forgive everyone, especially those who had hurt me. The difficulty is that while forgiveness is a concept that was absolutely saturated in my life, I was never given any real advice on how to do it past the idea that to forgive someone means to forget what they did. To move on while pretending no transgression was made. Giving that person a clean slate and not holding mistakes over their head. I want to say there is a time and place for forgiving and forgetting. If a kid next door throws a ball and breaks your window, it's pretty good advice to forgive that kid and move on with life like nothing happened. You know, as long as they do it once. If your sister forgets to text you on your birthday for the first time. If the people on the road aren't as good at driving as you. All of these are fine examples of instances to forgive and forget with our peers. The thing was, when I was a kid, this advice didn't set well with me in the slightest. In fact, it's quite safe to say that I always hated the idea of forgiving and forgetting. After seeking to understand this part of me as I got older, I realized that I didn't feel this way because I was being unreasonable. I felt this way because I was facing a far more complex and deep wound that needed to be forgiven. I realized I had to forgive betrayal, and that is a much deeper form of forgiveness than a simple forgive and forget could ever contain. Throughout my adult life, in order to cultivate inner peace, I discovered that I had to heal my relationship with the concept of forgiveness and figure out how to forgive the betrayals I had experienced. It took a lot of TED Talks, reflection, and processing before I realized that I had the wrong understanding about what forgiveness actually was. So here were my roadblocks. I never felt like forgiveness was for my benefit. I thought forgiveness meant ignoring someone else's boundary crossing, keeping peace, and allowing someone else to have zero negative consequences for their actions. That forgiveness meant I had to be around someone I didn't want to be around. I think some of it came from the idea I was taught as a kid in church, that when you forgive someone, you should treat them as you want to be treated. If someone says they're sorry, you should forgive them and be nice to them. It's a beautiful sentiment, but not everyone says they're sorry. Not everyone means it when they do. Sometimes you know without a doubt that that other person doesn't care. So I had to expand how I thought about forgiveness. And here's what I came up with. Forgiving and forgetting is a useful methodology for keeping outward peace, but only for mundane, trivial things. Forgive and forget is reserved for minute occurrences that you should, in fact, not hold a grudge against. Small things that should be let go of, and you shouldn't judge others because, let's be honest, no one is perfect. A way to acknowledge that we can't keep a ledger every time someone annoys us. A way to not hold perfection above anyone's head. But it does not work for deep relational wounds or acts of betrayal. In fact, the concept of forgiving and forgetting doesn't honor the grief or the loss experienced in these kinds of situations. The deeper the wound, the longer it's gonna take to heal. The first step to achieving forgiveness for betrayal or other deeply wounding things is to honor yourself. When we experience betrayal, we are often experiencing some kind of personal injustice. Oftentimes, the other person or people involved don't acknowledge your pain or take accountability for the injustice. Betrayal often involves some kind of loss of trust, connection, understanding, and a sense of belonging. That's why it's so important to give yourself what you need, especially if someone else isn't. Being self-compassionate and treating yourself with kindness as you go through the grieving process for your losses from the betrayal. The truth is, when betrayal is on the table, you begin your path to forgiveness by honoring the full spectrum of your emotions. Once you do this, you can typically reach some level of acceptance of the betrayal. And then you might be ready for forgiveness. To truly forgive betrayal, it requires you to fully understand the true purpose of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's not for outward peace or reconciliation. All of those are separate issues because they are outside your proximity of control. Forgiveness is the intentional decision to let go of the inward resentment and anger towards someone else who has wronged you. Now, let me tell you some things forgiveness does not do. Forgiveness does not require forgetting, because maybe you learned some valuable lessons. Forgiveness does not excuse what happened. Forgiveness does not condone betrayal. Forgiveness does not absolve anyone from the responsibility or accountability for what they did. No, forgiveness is an internal process that prioritizes your peace of mind, allowing you to move forward with healing and freedom from bitterness and resentment. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Forgiveness is about your emotional release. It has no one duration. Sometimes you can heal from your betrayal wounds with forgiveness within a couple months. Sometimes it might take years. It's even totally valid if it is a lifelong process. So how do we do it? How do we achieve forgiveness? There isn't a one-size-fits-all calculation for how to achieve it. That's tough to hear. We all want a step-by-step, this is how you do it. I check-marked all the boxes. We all want it. It doesn't exist. It's gonna look a little differently for every single person, every single time you do it. But here are a few tips to get that journey started for you. First and foremost, acknowledge, honor, and process your own emotions throughout the entire process. And you're going to have them. Find ways to express yourself, whether that's through journaling, vlogging diaries, talking to a trusted friend or therapist, praying, meditating, or any other methods that help you organize and be present with your thoughts. And likely, you're probably going to bounce around between multiple of those things. The second tip is to challenge yourself to practice empathy for the person who betrayed you. What was their life been like? Was there anything they did right? Visualize the situation from the other person's perspective, or even a neutral perspective if that's just too much, because it can be. Truly asking yourself what motivated that other person. Sometimes it can really help to consider the other person's circumstances and what may have led to their actions. But the main emphasis is that you humanize them instead of villainize them. This is a key component of achieving forgiveness, but you can't do it fully if you are still angry or grieving. It's okay for this step to be a cyclical process of slowly going back and forth between being angry, grieving, and finding empathy. That's okay. The further down the line of forgiveness you go, the more you're going to have to be angry, the more you're going to have to grieve. But it's a process of devotion to yourself and that peace that you wish for. The third and last piece of advice is to forgiving betrayal is just to do your best and try. By trying to forgive, you are tangibly making the choice to forgive. Creating a sense of devotion toward your forgiveness journey by focusing on what's inside your control. Be patient with yourself as you build new neural pathways and mindsets. Be present with the forgiveness process. Be bold and present with yourself. Choose to let go of bitterness while reaching for inner peace and sanctuary. Forgiveness is a virtue for the brave. It is not always an easy path. It requires complete vulnerability, acceptance, and compassion for yourself. The self that is a victim, the self that is a survivor, the self that is a justice warrior, the self who is hurt, and the self who wants nothing more than to be healed. With forgiveness, we are showing devotion to ourselves. By forgiving what we could not originally, is creating a new inward reality in which we are no longer emotionally bogged down by our pain, resentment, and anger. A new way of being that allows us to be free again. Thank you.
Thank you, Callie. Wow. Were you talking to me? I think you were. Thank you. For our closing hymn, we'll be doing a fairly new hymn. And so Brenda will play it all the way through once, and we will do the first 3 verses. This is in the Teal hymnal, 1002. All rise and body your spirit as you're able. Speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me, oh my soul. Thank you, beautiful. You may be seated.
That was beautiful, Callie. Please join me in extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame,
and not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Hi, everybody. Kelly, that was really gorgeous. And your singing, Renee, and your piano playing, Brenda, gorgeous.
As a part of my closing words, I would like to do a guided meditation created by the University of Minnesota in their Taking Charge of Your Health and Well-Being program. I did tweak it just a little bit because it wasn't going to fit in the remaining time. But if you're interested in the entire unedited script to do on your own, I am quite certain that if you Google search University of Minnesota Forgiveness Meditation, you're going to find it. Before we get into it, I wanted to give a quick piece of advice. We will be calling upon the image of someone we hurt and someone who hurt us. Please know it may be best to start with someone who is easy to forgive, or someone you've already done forgiveness work for, and then over time work towards moving towards more difficult people. Today is not about doing really, really tough things. It's about starting the journey with ease. Baby steps, friends. You can repeat this process with the same or different people as often as you wish in the future. It's best not to force yourself to forgive someone you don't feel ready or safe to forgive at this time, and that's valid. Simply acknowledging whatever comes up for you with a non-judgmental attitude as much as you can. Let whatever emotions arise come and go. You can always come back to the breath or to the body sitting as an anchor, but go at your own pace. So let's go ahead and close our eyes and get comfortable in your chair. Become aware of the fact that you are breathing. Become aware of the movement of breath as it comes into your body and as it leaves your body. Do not manipulate your breath or try to control it. Simply be aware of how it feels going in and out. Now expand your awareness beyond your breath, including your entire body. Simply notice sensations in the body internally and externally. Now focus your mind on someone who you have harmed, either intentionally or unintentionally. Someone where things feel or have felt unresolved. Be open to whoever comes to your mind, taking a few moments to visualize and imagine this person, noticing the details of their appearance. What's most important is not the words, but the feeling and intent that powers your words. Within your mind, in a gentle tone, say this person's name to yourself and ask forgiveness for how you have mishandled or harmed this person, intentionally or unintentionally. Trust yourself to ask forgiveness in a way that feels right for you, without getting lost in the content of the story of whatever may have happened. As much as you can, letting it come from your heart with the intention for healing. Ask for and open yourself to receiving forgiveness. Quietly in your mind, repeat a few times at your own pace, "May I be forgiven. May I be forgiven. May I be forgiven." Now gently let go of it all by letting everything you just did fade into your subconscious as you bring your awareness back to your body, back to your breath, taking a few easy, deep breaths. Now bring to mind someone who has caused you harm, intentionally or unintentionally. Notice the details of this person's appearance. Notice what feelings arise from you as you bring this person to mind. If it's too overwhelming, choose someone else. Begin to offer this person forgiveness. In your own mind, using that person's name, say, "I forgive you," as you hold images of your intent in your mind. Trust yourself to forgive in a way that feels right for you, without getting lost in the content of the story of whatever may have happened. Very good. It's time to let go of it all by letting everything you just did fade into your subconscious as you bring your awareness back to the body, back to your breath, taking a few easy, deep breaths. Now start to imagine and visualize yourself. Notice the details of your appearance. Bring to your mind anyone or any situation for which you wish to forgive yourself. When you are ready, using your own name, say, "I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you." Now say silently to yourself, "May I forgive myself. May I forgive myself. May I forgive myself." Again, trust yourself to forgive in a way that feels right to you. It's time to let go of it all by letting everything we just did fade into your subconscious as you bring back your awareness back to the body, back to your breath, taking a few easy, deep breaths. Now take a few more deep breaths as you offer gratitude to yourself for taking this time for yourself. Breathe in stillness for as long as you wish, and when you are ready, gently open your eyes and slowly return to the present, this moment, this place, to resume your day. Blessed are you.